Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is VirtualNunchucks. Welcome to the show today, and today we're going to talk about why gaming matters. It's your boy VirtualNunchucks, and again, we're going to talk about that. And if you've been around the channel for a long time, you know that I'm a disabled gamer with cerebral palsy, and gaming is important to me. And well, I'd like to talk to you guys about why. Now, I've alluded to it a few times, as to being a child growing up watching my brothers and my cousins be able to play sports like baseball in the backyard, even t-ball, with little plastic tees and all that kind of stuff. And I was able to do some of that, but a lot of it, like riding a bike, was very difficult. Playing t-ball, they always had to make some kind of accommodation for me, so I kind of felt left out, even though I was participating in a way. And so, with the advent of video games way back in the day, my first official video game was a Atom home computer. And if you don't know what those are, go ahead and Google it. Basically, what it was a tape drive and a CPU that you could plug into a regular TV and use it as a word processor. They did make some games for it on tape drive and stuff like that. But that was my first real gaming experience. It was something that I could do and not have to compromise. And then when the Atari came out, Atari 2600 came out, all of my family, my mother, my father, um, even my cousins' parents, my cousins themselves, we were all playing games. We played games like Space Invaders, Stampede. We played, believe it or not, I played and enjoyed E.T. Don't hate me for that, but I did. Indiana Jones. We got to play some, you know, battle tanks or whatever it was called against one another. We got to play things like Star Wars on the Atari. It was crazy. I mean, no longer was a spectator. I was a participant in a lot of these things. It was cheap. It was fairly cheap, I guess, for the time. My parents were doing all right for themselves, and so they bought us one, and we all just exchanged games between the family, and we all had a great time. We would play different games, and I got to actually sit down and hold a joystick and press a button, and no longer was I just watching something, or no longer was I having to be accommodated for, or you know, made special arrangements for, but I was able to participate. I was able to do it because I could do it, and there was no compromise. Um, Video gaming for a disabled person is like it's like opening up a whole another world. That's why in my previous video, my opinion video that I gave about VR being the greatest technology since like the Atari, is because in video games and with the advent of VR and things like that, we actually get to participate and we no longer have to compromise. Now, granted, there are some situations where you still have to have adaptive controllers. Xbox, Microsoft, thank you for that, by the way. I don't have an Xbox, but I do appreciate the fact that they do that. I do appreciate that there are companies out there that make adaptive controllers and customizable controllers for people, so it's amazing. Um, and I find options for myself. I have a fight stick that I use, Comba Drone. I've given a review for that. It's on the channel. That I use for fight games. I use a lot of things to try to make gaming easier for me, but gaming was finally a chance to just participate and be me, and not have to like uh, hide my disappointment if I was disappointed that I couldn't do something, or make people feel bad about having to play with me or something. We could actually play and be on equal footing. Uh, and then when Madden started coming out, EA started doing Madden back in the 90s. Dude, I was a football person. I've made no secret about this. I grew up in Florida, so like it was a football state. If you wanted to root for the Dolphins, you could root for the Dolphins. If you wanted to root for the Bucks, I was a Tampa boy, so that was me. I was rooting for the Bucks even when they were bad in the creamsicle uniforms and everything else. Okay, um, go Tom Brady right now. But when Madden came out, I got to play sports, man, and we got to play RBI baseball on Nintendo, and when MLB The Show started coming out, I got to play all these sports that I just got to watch before. And I found out that I was pretty good at some of this stuff. Like Madden, dude, maybe not so much anymore because it's been years, but like when I was a kid, you didn't want to play me on Madden. I would wipe the floor with you because I just had to push buttons. I didn't have to physically exert myself. I didn't have to do something. I could just push buttons. And you talk about trash talk, dude. My cousins, we would do the online, or not the online tournaments, but the couch tournaments where you could set up the tournament mode and play in the brackets and all kinds of stuff in Madden. And we'd set up World Series, championship games and stuff where we'd set up our own brackets and we'd play. And you wouldn't want to play with me because even if I lost, which occasionally I did, I still gave you a run for your money. My cousins were like literally scared to play me because they knew that I would give them a run, and I wouldn't go down without a fight. And it was amazing to be able to just be me and have fun and not have to worry about everything else in between. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If I was going to play t-ball in my yard with my family, we're not talking about neighbors or Little League or anything like that, with just my family, my dad, when I was very young, had to support me, had to stand me up and stand there with me so that I did not fall over. Now, I had good upper body strength, still do. In my 40s, I still have fantastic upper arms. You don't want to get an arm wrestling match with me. You just don't. But in order for me to balance myself, he had to support me. Now, once he did that, could I hit a ball? Yes. Can I throw a football if I'm sitting down? Yes. And can I throw it hard? Yes. Will it get to where I want it to go? Yes. I hit a baseball, over the fence. Actually hit my neighbor's roof with a baseball bat and ball. Now, it's one of those plastic ones, so they do go quite a ways, but that's not the point. I can do it, but it required so much effort on somebody else's part to make me a part. And video games were able to take that away from them, let me be me, and let me actually compete, if you will, and not have to compromise something. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. I want to try to get this message out to as many people as I can, because I want the developers to pay attention, because what they're doing and what they have successfully done for years without knowing it is giving disabled gamers an opportunity to just be us. Our personalities get to come out with no compromises. We get to just laugh and have a good time, even if we suck at games. Even if we lose games and we're not very good at it. It just gives us an opportunity to just learn, and not only learn, but just to participate, and that is amazing. And I hope that what developers will do is they will start realizing how much it comes down to money. So let's just be real here. They don't make games for altruistic purposes all the time. Sometimes they do. But their market for disabled people is huge. Okay? It's huge. There are millions of people who are disabled, who just want to sit down and be able to play a video game. Because it's like reading a book. When you read a book, you are transported to an entirely different world. You get to use your imagination, and in that moment, in those moments where you're reading those pages, you can be that person, or you can be in that world and be immersed in that world. That's why I loved books. Still do. But in video games, it takes it to a whole new level. You can just be that person. And in the case of what you see on the screen here, I can be Thor. I don't have to pretend to be Thor. I don't have to, this is my Thor. This is the guy I created, the build I made for Thor. This is very early on, so it kind of sucks. But this is my character. So your character might be different than mine. Your Thor might be different. My Captain America is different than yours because I have to play differently. But it's mine, and I can be that guy. I can be Spider-Man in Spider-Man PS4. I can be those people, and I don't have to worry about, uh, you know, not being able to function. Now, I have to make adaptations for controller needs and things like that from time to time. Uh, but it's amazing. And then with the advent of VR, like I said in my previous video, that just opens up a completely different world because then you have the technology to allow gamers who have disabilities to maybe just look at something or eventually, hopefully, speak to something and have it do what you ask it to do and be immersed in that world. It doesn't take you out. You can just turn your head and you're still in the cockpit of a fighter. You're still in a room with, the Joker or whatever, because Batman VR is awesome. If you haven't seen that game, you need to. Um, just the technology is there and the customer base is there. If gamers and if developers would just get a hold of this and just run with the technology and say, okay, you know what? Let's make some let's make some money off these people. They want to play anyway, so let's help them do that because they'll buy our stuff. I would buy an adaptive controller if PlayStation made one. I would buy a SCUF controller if you were a little cheaper. $200 is a lot for a controller that I'm eventually going to break because I'm very hard on my controllers with my hands and things. Unfortunately, that's the way my hands work. So the $40 option, the what is it that I use? FPS Dominator that I use from GameStop and from Creative Minds. That that's my option. That's my SCUF, and I plug that every so often because it's real. It's awesome. But you guys have so many options for making money off of us because all we want to do is participate and just be us and have fun and enjoy ourselves with friends or just be part of the action. And that's why I enjoy gaming so much. That's why I play with my son and we trash talk and we just goof off and I don't compromise. My wife tells me I need to be a little more easier on my 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid because I'm hard on him. We'll pop a game in the console, even if it's a game I've never played before, and if it's a fighting game, I've been playing fighting games for nearly, God, for almost 40 years, give or take. Um, Even if it was just beat 'em ups like Double Dragon and Streets of Rage and Bad Dudes and all that stuff. Um, so I understand the concept, and so I will mop the floor with this poor kid. And this kid, we played Street Fighter 5, and I've never played. I played Street Fighter years and years ago, but I've never played Street Fighter 5. We played Street Fighter 5 one match. I didn't know what I was doing. I understood the basics, like this is guard, this is kick, this is punch, this is whatever. I mopped the floor with my son in one match. He put the controller down and said, I'm going in my room now. And he went back into his room and played the computer with his friends. I probably should have taken it a little easy on him, but I just don't because I get to just be me and be as good as I can be. Now that's competitiveness talking, and that's a little bit of my pride coming out, I guess. But I just and I felt really really bad. I actually apologized to him later. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know how it come over me, but yeah, I'll try to be better about it next time. It's just it's bad, But that's the importance of gaming, especially to disabled gamers. Now, there are a lot of pro sports, pro esports people that will tell you the exact same thing. They just want to be the best they can be, and they want to do the best they can, and they want to win. Well, everybody wants to win. But for disabled gamers, it's a whole new thing because you have to consider that sometimes it can be an emotional thing, sometimes because you don't get to do those things. Video too long, but it was actually therapy for me. Did you know that? physical therapy to get my coordination and my hands to work the way that they do now, 40 plus years into my life. Therapy was actually going home with a Nintendo. When my parents bought it, it was recreational when they bought it. But when my pediatrician and my doctors and my orthopedists and all that, they found out that I had one, they said immediately to my parents, look, hey, he needs to play that. He needs to play it every single day for at least 30 minutes to an hour every single day, because it helps with his eye and hand coordination. It helps with his motor development for his hands. It will help him be able to function later in life. So every single day it was therapy for me. So so not only was it entertaining, not only was it something that I enjoyed doing, not only was it uh, competition with my family, or my friends, but it was therapy. And to this day, I still play about an hour or so a day, sometimes longer, so that my hands don't become uh, stiff or don't become, um, you know, I don't lose some of the function in my hands for that very, very reason. So, just want you to know that gaming means a whole lot more to other people, and developers need to get a hold of this. If you guys know developers, share this. Share this on my Twitter. Share this on your Twitter. Share this on your YouTube channels. Whatever you can, because this isn't just me talking for my channel. This is me talking for everybody. There's millions of us out there who just want to participate and who want to spend money on good games. Now, don't make a game or a peripheral or whatever. We just want to play games. Don't make a game specifically for us, and please don't sell us crappy stuff. Make it work so that we can invest in your companies and push it out and tell other people, hey, this works for me. This works. This is fantastic. Okay, so that's my 2 cents. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook.com/VirtualNunchucks, over on Twitter @VNunchucks, where I am most of the time when I'm not on YouTube. Over here on YouTube is where I hang out all the time, and of course Twitch.tv/VirtualNunchucks. I hope you guys have a great day. We will see you in the next video. I'm still recovering medically from my emergency room visit. So when we get back to normal and doing news updates and stuff, I'll let you guys know. But I just wanted to share this information with you guys because it's a passion of mine. It's real, and it's something that I live with every day, and I think people need to know what's going on. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great day. I hope this video was educational. Hope you learned something. If you did, great, wonderful. Don't forget to drop a like, and of course, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it and ask questions. I don't mind that. Okay, guys, have a great day.